Planning Committee to order, and Lisa, if you do roll call.
Commissioner Cross?
Here.
Commissioner Derazinski?
Here.
Commissioner Engel?
Here.
Commissioner Hughes?
Here.
Commissioner Mahoney?
Here.
Commissioner Nash?
Here.
Commissioner Sabo?
Here.
Commissioner Wilkins?
Here.
Commissioner Skolnick?
Here. Okay, thank you. We have a quorum. First item of business is approval of the minutes of December 13th.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Cross, support by Commissioner Wilkins. Is there any corrections or discussion on that? If not, we'll vote. All those in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the minutes are approved. The next item is public comment. We've got some time set aside for public comment on an agenda item. There is anyone out there that would like to say anything? Which there isn't. We'll move on to items for consideration. The first one being CDSP 13/01-01. Adopt the agreement with Beanbox Company to provide bicycle rentals from the Union Depot and authorize the board chair to execute the agreement.
So moved.
Okay, we've got a motion that's been seconded. I don't know, maybe Mr. Lukens.
Hi, Bob Lukens, Community Development. This is an agreement with Beanbox Company to rent bicycles and surreys from the Convention and Visitors Bureau at the Union Depot. It'll run approximately through Memorial Day into the fall, depending on weather. And we have the two representatives from the company here, Melissa and Trevor, who can answer any other questions, but we will rent these. The CVB staff will take care of the rentals. There's a web application, so everything would be conducted online, and it'll provide another service for visitors to the county.
Any questions? Yes, Mr. Mahoney.
On the percentages, $1,000 revenue, 25%, $250 commission. When you get it to 3,000, it's 50%, and they only have $1,000 commission.
Yes, there was a correction to it. It's based on tiers.
Oh, okay. It's the percentages and the actual commission go down.
I do have this. Yeah, the commission runs from tier 1 is less than $2,500 at 25% commission. Tier 2 is $2,501 to $5,000 for a 50% commission, and tier 3 is less than $5,000, or I'm sorry, greater than $5,000 for 70% commission.
I was just looking at the numbers in this chart.
Isn't there? There's some sort of a cap on it, isn't there?
No.
Oh, there isn't. And we'll have to take a look at the numbers.
There's set commission amounts though, right, on the next page.
Yeah, I'm looking at revenue, commission percentage, and commission dollars. If you go down to the $3,000 limit of 50%, the commission should be more than $1,000, it should be $1,500.
Correct.
It's probably a typo or whatever.
Does
Not
not
that I
go back
used to
to
teach
$1.
math, but
It doesn't go back to dollars.
Would we be,
There is a typo.
should we make an amendment to the motion to make sure that it is straightened out in the contract that we signed? Do you want me to?
We will need a motion to suspend the
I'll make a
rules.
motion, we suspend the rules.
Support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Hi, Melissa Wickman, Beanbox Company. I can break out the numbers differently for you, but what that represents is that that 50% commission does not go back to $1. So that's what you're seeing. So it's,
oh, okay.
does that make sense? So it's 25% up to $2,500, and then beyond from 25 to 5, yeah, it's 50% of that chunk, and then 70% of the.
That's my confusion.
Yeah, so it's not quite so clear cut because it doesn't go back to $1.
You know, if I may, could you just, this has nothing to do with the contract particularly, but just describe your company, and have you done this before?
Yep, we opened the company in 2011 down at Great Lakes Marina. We only had one location. We were actually running it. I ran it 7 days a week. We own total for the company 4 Surreys, 2 large, 2 small, and 10 bikes. We're going to be able to invest in more bikes this year. I don't know if you've seen the Surrey. If you live in Lakeside or get down there in 2011, you probably saw them all over the place. We, last year, at the beginning of the year, tried to expand to 2 locations, and now we run a location in this model, by the way, so there's proven the way that this model works, up at the Weather Vane Inn. So they run the day-to-day operations, we own the bikes, we do the maintenance, we carry the liability insurance. So they did it last year. We wanted to do it last year in the city, but just couldn't make it happen quickly enough. So our plan this year is to have those 2 locations, one downtown, and then one up in Montague.
And can you use the Surrey on the bike trail?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's not motorized, it does fit, and 2 fit side by side, and we worked with the city to make sure that all worked back in 2011 when we started.
And so you'll no longer be at Great Lakes Marina then, if this goes through?
We will not, and we weren't last year after about the end of June either. The way the business model works and them running the day-to-day, it just really didn't work that well, so we parted ways. We still keep our boat there, so parted ways pleasantly, but we agreed that probably just wasn't the best place for it.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? Well, thank you. I hope you're very successful down there. Any other questions for Mr. Lukens?
Yeah, how did this come about? Was this something we were seeking, or?
Melissa approached the CVB to determine our interest in the project, and I discussed it with the administrator and several others, my staff, and we were ready to go with the idea. It provides another service to visitors to the area. We did get, at one time, the CVB did rent bicycles out of the Union Depot, but the bicycles weren't in the best repair, and we had more problems really than it was worth. So Melissa's company takes care of the bicycles and very good upkeep of the vehicles, so we're able to use them, and I think it'll be a very successful program.
I think it'll be successful too, because she is right. I live in Lakeside. I've seen them
I
all
do too.
over
I
last
saw them all
summer.
over.
So.
Yeah.
You know, I think the Shoreline Inn do they rent bikes? They have their own. They're just not like what you've got, not the Surreys.
Just bikes.
Yeah.
I think they're single speed, available to guests only, if I'm not mistaken.
You know, I think there's a market here for renting boats too, and nobody's renting boats.
Insurance.
I don't know what the problem is.
Well, actually, the Shoreline does rent pontoon boats.
So they have one pontoon boat. They're the only one, but I think there's a market for that, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Okay, anybody else? We'll vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Great. Next item is CDSP 13/01-02. Authorize free Muskegon County Parks Day for Twin Lake and Pioneer Parks on Saturday, May 4th.
Support.
Brought forward by John Warner. Any questions on this?
Are there any plans to advertise, to really promote this, to make this a worthwhile project?
John Warner, Public Works Department. This is a brainchild of our clerk, Nancy Waters, and I have not honestly had as much thought put into it as she has, and perhaps she could give you some of her thoughts on that at this moment. I've just been working hard to help keep up with her.
We all are.
Oh, yeah. I need a motion to suspend.
So moved.
rules again.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you very much. When I approached John Warner on the parks, I realized that we have 3 state parks in the county here, but we have 7 wonderful parks, and we've been working since December on this, and that was the first question that was asked. How are you going to advertise it? And of course, Commissioner Skolnick and I both serve on the education and information, so we knew that we would be putting out a notice to help desk to all of our county employees and their families. We also felt that there would be some distribution to some of the organizations, nonprofits, Chamber of Commerce. We had a long list of groups that we were going to ask to distribute to their memberships, and we were going to certainly ask our media, the White Lake Beacon and the Chronicle and other agencies and newspapers and that to help us. So our general feeling was that if the board gave approval to go ahead, that the next meeting in February would be to put a list together, and that we would certainly hope that all of the county departments and elected offices would have little flyers there starting in April, not too soon, but starting in April, that they would distribute to all of the citizens coming, because it would be open to everybody, including the county employees, their families, citizens in the county here, and any ideas you have of how we could further expand it, but we felt that we could get a lot of exposure for you in the advertising free.
Have you thought social media?
No, but we would be working on that. We thought on your page, on your front page of the County Board of Commissioners, that would be the front and center right there. And we also talked about, one of the reasons why we talked about including Convention and Visitors Bureau is certainly their involvement, and he immediately wrote back and said, I need to know all this information so we can get it right away on our list of events going on, so that people that are looking at their website would be able to have it. So it is growing fast, and we think it will be very successful.
Yes.
Yes, should we be able to advertise that more, or do something so the public will be aware that, they're for sale? And it'll be easy, even with these days, if we start advertising now, have a designated place where they could pick up the products, because there are a lot of people that don't know that you have to pay for those parts.
Well, certainly one of the problems we have is that so many people pay that extra $10 when they get their license plate.
Right.
And they think that extra $10 is letting them come into your county parks free, and it's not. And so therefore, you're right, we do have a responsibility to talk about how we keep getting that information out. And one of the things that we did talk about was being able to sell those passes on that first Saturday, and getting people to buy in early and then use it throughout the rest of the summer in that.
So I'm at the clerk's office too.
Oh, well, we'd be happy to, but the board would have to authorize us to do that. But that is a good idea, that we do have some of the other departments that could be selling. We didn't think of that.
Not yet, we hadn't.
Not yet. So did you have any other questions on that?
I just have one. So does that mean that you can stay there overnight for free then, that one day?
No, it was only open from 10 to 4.
That is only, we're basically forgiving the motor vehicle pass for the day. If you wanted to camp, there'd be the camping fee.
Okay.
I have one other question. Is it possible to get the mat system involved and maybe get a trolley to go to the different parks from a community center or somewhere where you could,
That's one idea we had tossed around internally, but we hadn't approached Mr. Lukens on that yet.
We could definitely take a look at that.
I mean, it would be advantageous for people to ride the trolley too, a fun thing for, get more people involved in that too.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but some of the folks that live within the cities that don't have the means to get out to these,
Right.
it would give them the opportunity to see what we have in this county, and
Right.
the opportunity to go out there and see it.
And you might even get the mat system to do a little advertising on the trolley or on their buses about the event too.
And I just wanted to remind you that this date, the first Saturday in May, is flowing right from your month of April for National County Government Month, when you always have different features that you're promoting. And we thought it'd be a wonderful time to piggyback with a lot of that on the distribution of information.
Chair,
Yes.
could we take action then to have those passes sold here? And then they could incorporate that in the advertising? Or look at it later?
I think the administrator should maybe try to figure that out and then come back. You could bring that up at almost any meeting.
We'll do that.
I think it's a good idea. It's just, I
Right.
don't have to spend it on.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Thank you.
If I may, real quick, the information that I passed out there, it shows you what the motor vehicle permit usage was for 11 and 12, broken down by the month, both dailies and seasonal use. And then I also included the 2012 operating report there from all the parks, just for your reference.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks.
So 2012 was a record year then.
I wouldn't say a record year, but it was a very good year.
Revenue, was it higher prior to that?
Yes, we did have one year that was higher, and I want to say it was in the early 2000s. We don't carry it on the annual report anymore because we only carry 5 years. But we did, I think it was 2003 was an excellent year.
Okay, very good, thanks. Mrs. Waters, thank you. You have too much time on your hands. All right, we'll vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, old business. Is there any old business? Yes, Mr.
That last motion brings to mind what Mr. Engel did last year with the 4-H fair and the bus service that I think you started from downtown. I'm hoping, I saw it as a huge success. In fact, I talked Oak Ridge into running a bus out there, which they did. I hope we can expand on that in the same fashion to show off, you know, some of this, especially.
It worked pretty good. It worked pretty good.
I thought it was a great idea, Mark. And this, as is this, Nancy.
Thank you. And thank you both.
All right, any other old business? Any new business? Does anyone have any new business to bring forward?
No, just one thing. You know, we should challenge each one of us as county commissioners to make sure that all the schools in our district know about the Free Park Day. All the kids know that if we have any community centers, flyers go out there, any libraries in our district, and at our township and city halls.
We'll be packed. Good idea. And they're writing those down.
Okay, public comment. Is there any public comment on a new topic? And there's, I don't think so. So I need a motion to adjourn. Yes, I'm sorry.
New items, this is not an item, but I'm just passing this around for, Monday, we're gonna be closed, and there's a lot of community activity going on. So we're passing those flyers around. There's a community food truck at the Heckler Administration, free community chili supper at Central United Methodist. I know the annual community walk here that they usually have with Central United Methodist in Mount Zion. And they've been doing that for a number of years. And then Keeping a Dream Alive evening, and I hear that's going to be a great event. Some standout youngsters doing essays, is it? So, a lot of community activities. Hope we can all somehow get involved.
Tomorrow's Unity Breakfast, is it?
Correct. Tomorrow's a Unity Breakfast at MCC. And the speaker is Mr. Cage, I believe it is. Cage. Yeah. And I know.
It's sold out.
I believe it. I was going to say it was down to 55 tickets a week ago, so I'm sure they're gone.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?